Have you ever seen someone found not guilty in criminal court turn around and lose a civil case over the same incident? It sounds contradictory, but it isn't. The reason is simple. Civil and criminal cases use different burdens of proof. Criminal law is about punishment. These cases are brought by the state and can take away someone's freedom. Civil law is about accountability. Those cases are usually between private parties and deal with money, property, or personal rights. Because the consequences are different, the level of proof required is different too. In criminal court, the state has to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the highest standard we have. The jury must be firmly convinced that the defendant committed the crime. If there's a reasonable doubt based on the evidence, the verdict must be not guilty. The system is designed that way on purpose. When someone's liberty is at stake, the law demands near certainty. Civil court works differently. Most civil cases use the preponderance of the evidence standard, which can be simply defined as more likely than not. If one side's version of events is slightly more convincing, that side wins. There's no requirement for certainty, because no one is going to prison. There's also a middle standard that matters in certain civil cases. Clear and convincing evidence applies when serious rights or reputations are at risk, like parental rights, guardianship, or fraud claims. The judge or jury must be clearly convinced the claim is true, based on strong and reliable proof. It's a higher bar than ordinary civil cases, but still lower than criminal court. This difference explains how the same event can lead to different outcomes. The O.J. Simpson cases are the most well-known example. In criminal court, the jury found him not guilty because the prosecution couldn't meet the beyond a reasonable doubt standard. In civil court, the victims' families only had to prove responsibility by a lower standard, and they did. Same facts, same person, different burdens. You see the same thing happening every day in Florida courts. Take a bar fight. Criminal charges are filed, but the jury isn't convinced beyond a reasonable doubt who started it, so the defendant is acquitted. Later, the injured person files a civil lawsuit. The jury decides it's more likely than not that the defendant caused the injuries and awards damages. There's no conflict there. The rules simply changed. One point that often gets misunderstood is who carries the burden. In criminal cases, the state has it. In civil cases, the plaintiff has it. The defense never has to prove innocence. They only have to show the other side didn't meet the required standard. This isn't just legal theory. These standards keep the system balanced. The more severe the consequence, the more confidence the law requires before taking action. A not guilty verdict doesn't mean innocence. A civil loss doesn't mean criminal guilt. It means the evidence cleared one threshold, but not another. So now that we've compared civil and criminal standards, let's circle back to the thing police rely on before anyone even gets charged. What's the real difference between probable cause and reasonable suspicion? How do officers know when they can stop, search, or arrest? That's what we'll explore next.